I'm Bill King, and I was baptized 57 years ago in a church in Southeast Washington, D.C. That baptism meant very little to me because I was doing it simply because a lot of the other kids in my youth group were being baptized. It was 21 years ago last September, on a little chapel on a hillside just west of Frederick, Maryland, that I came face to face with Jesus. It changed my life. In that interim 35, 36 or so years, my life had a whole bunch of high peaks and very low valleys. I became a United States Marine. I was married to a terrific woman, and we started a family with 3 kids. I pursued a lifelong dream of becoming a pilot and took flight lessons. After 10 years, I left the Marine Corps, giving up a career in the Marines to pursue a career in aviation. It was a few years after that that I started making decisions that took me to some of the lowest valleys of my life. Eventually, that led to our divorce in 1980. The crash had already occurred, but the tailspin of destruction in my life had just begun. I entered into a period of sinful and immoral and illegal activity in a life that was a poor example for my children. Deep down inside of me, I knew there was an emptiness. I just didn't know then that it was an emptiness in the shape of a cross. It was in 1991 that my best friend Joe invited me on a men's Christian weekend. On that weekend, we were asked to write on a piece of paper any sin or activity that we would like to be rid of in our life. And I did that and nailed it to a wooden cross. When they stood that cross up, I didn't see a bunch of yellow pieces of paper on that cross. What I saw was Jesus. Jesus was suffering and dying for Bill King, for all that sin, and he forgave it all, and it changed everything. Eventually, Joanne and I were remarried in 1999, and the way God has worked in our life and the blessing of our family dynamics can only be described as miraculous. So I'm really excited about being baptized here at Crossroads, because it'll be a time for me to make a public declaration of my love for Jesus, my willingness to trust in Him, and my desire to walk in His footsteps.